The fun of cave diving sport is exploration and discoveries, which is why the cave divers are passionate about it and devote their entire lives to it. But some cave diving can be turned into a miserable scene. Now, why this thing happened? Stay tuned until the end, as we are going to show you another side of cave diving. Most cave diving mishaps occur when divers exceed their skill and experience levels. When this happens, things go awry. Compared to an open water dive, going deeper or farther than anticipated might be extremely challenging. And now here we have a tragic incident that occurred in one of the most famous caves around the world. A submerged pothole in the Welsh River Clydach provided a difficult obstacle for many years. It was well known that this sizable underwater hole in the riverbed served as a conduit for the resurging waters from the several miles of caves in the Langtock Mountain. The Clydach Gorge is a stunning location, despite the enormous road that passes through it, and is currently being enlarged into an even larger dual carriageway, doubtless at a great environmental cost. The Langtock Mountain caverns all resurged their water at Pwyll y Cwm in the River Clydach, according to water tracing, which involved putting different dyes or spores into water within several cave systems over a long period. The chance of finding a massive cave system and possibly connecting the current tunnels was very high. And on April 23, experienced diver Bonnie Cotier, 53, traveled to the region from her home in St. Neots, Cambridgeshire, to dive the Pwyll y Cwm caverns with Martin Farr and Duncan Price, the South and Mid Wales Cave Rescue coordinators. Mr. Farr and Mrs. Cotier stayed in the shallow area of the sea, but was not visible when she and Mr. Farr arrived back at the entryway. He dove again, even though he had little oxygen left, and discovered her still alive but heavy, as though worn out. She escaped as he was attempting to pull her out, and because he was so low on air, he had to surface and seek assistance. Later, Mr. Price located her body. Mrs. Cotier drowned to death, and coroner Mr. David Bowen declared it to be an accident. Miss Cotier, who was originally from Washington, D.C., and her husband, Stephen Francis Hubin, shared a passion for diving that brought them to France, Mexico, and the U.S., according to the Newport coroner's court inquiry into her death. Originally from Washington, D.C., Bonnie and her 42-year-old husband Stephen Hubin started scuba diving in 1999, before switching to cave diving. They relocated there so Mr. Hubin could work at RAF Molesworth. According to Mr. Hubin, Bonnie was aware of the hazards, but she did it since it allowed her to travel to areas she otherwise wouldn't be able to. He was aware that she had been having fun throughout, up until a short while before she ran into problems. Furthermore, according to the reports, guide ropes were positioned 25 meters inside the cave to prevent inexperienced divers from entering, and Mr. Farr informed the court that the oxygen in their cylinders was sufficient for a 45-minute dive. Mr. Farr, a professional scuba diver instructor with 40 years of experience, met Miss Cotier at a meeting in Yorkshire and made arrangements for her to join Mr. Price on his research dive to the Pwyll y Cwm caves. In addition to being well-liked in the cave diving world, Bonnie also owned Golden Dog Corporate Communications, a design firm, and was a part of the CAM Creative Business Networking Club in Cambridge. Bonnie was incredibly full of life, according to her friend Anne Hawkins, who knew her through the Huntingdonshire-based Inspired Group, a motivational resource for those looking to launch and grow their own business. Everyone in the room clamored to speak with her whenever she entered. Friends and family members will miss her candor and straightforwardness in our meetings. She was quite sharp, and if she believed something needed to be done differently, she would say as much. A church memorial service for Bonnie will be held on May 15 in Washington by friends and family. This brings us to the end of the video. Hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel to show us your support, and don't forget to press the icon. See you at the next one. Until then, peace.